Hi, welcome to my blog. I am Mark Notenboom and I live in Holland. I'm an optometric doctor. I've been an independent entrepreneur my whole life. I'm developing projects all the time. I'm a specialist, for example, in 3D retinal scanning and develop some techniques in that. Dry eye specialist, developing my own device at the moment. And the last couple of years I've been developing a very cool new product, a software platform related to 3D printing and 3D scanning. So I thought it might be of interest of people to see how I set this up, how difficult it is, what to do, what not to do, and how my progress is going towards the commercialization of this new project. Okay, so one day I woke up and I said, okay, everything is going, all my projects are running, my practice is doing fine, we're as high tech as we can be. Let's study 3D printing. Because I thought, you know, maybe if you can print the retina and print some micro scans of the macula, which is the central focus point in the retina, maybe some surgeon could evaluate it in real life and see, okay, here's the problem, this is what I need to do, and then he can, you know, go into surgery with the microscope and have a good preparation. I spent a lot of time, and then I saw that to evaluate it digitally is optimal. So I didn't see it as a good development at the time. So I thought, okay, but now I've gathered a lot of knowledge about 3D printing, about digitalization. Let's focus on eyewear. I mean, I have an optical shop, I do retail. How cool would it be to be able to make your own 3D printed eyewear? So I started studying that. I bought a small filament printer, you know, a hobby printer everybody can buy. And I was very excited. So I started making some designs in CAD. I bought a software CAD package, which was quite a steep investment, but you know, I trained myself and I managed to make a virtual design of eyewear, and I started to print on a filament print. Okay, so I'll show you some examples I did. So, of course, everybody thought it was very cool, but nobody would buy it. The quality was just not there. The materials for filament printing are cheap, they look cheap, they're brittle, and there's a lot of problems printing it. So, you know, you need support. You need to remove supports on the frame, which I can show you here. So that's not suitable for eyewear. You know, you need to do too much to get eyewear, and then when you have eyewear, it's brittle, it looks cheap, it's just not going to work. So I needed to go into the next step, which means industrial printing. Yes. So I studied the materials in industrial printing, and I found that there's quite a lot available, from titanium, nylon, all kinds of plastics. I did a lot of prints. I filmed a lot. I spent a lot of money, and it was very difficult to find the right material. But then I found it. It's nylon. So nylon is polyamide 12, PA12. That's the industrial label of the product, and it's very flexible. very light, and it breathes, and it's very strong, but also very porous, a little bit rough. But it was the best at the moment I could find to have it printed on an industrial scale. So I started testing with that. So here are some of the prints when they are from the factory. Okay, so I knew how to design. They were getting better and better. I knew how to have a print made, but they were all prototypes, right? Not consumer products. 3D printing 3 years ago was for prototype. Okay, so I had prototypes, and then you could add a color, and then I would have them in, and I would start to wear them, but the color came out, and it was too rough, it didn't look attractive. So even as I was excited about this new step, it didn't work. So then I decided to set up a workshop. So what I did, I hired a garage box, and I invested in some equipment, airbrush, polishing machines, things like that, and I started working, in my garage box. So can you imagine me, optometric doctor, working in a garage box? My wife thought I was crazy, but you have an idea, nobody can really help you, so I thought I will figure this out. I spent a lot of time. I managed to make quite good eyewear with nice paintbrush finishes, but very labor intensive, and if you would sell them, they would be too expensive in regards to the labor invested, and not attractive enough for people. Also, the durability, if you put a lacquer or a paint on a nylon, it will come out with skin, sweat, and all that makeup, So I tried some with my customers, and they didn't like it in the end. It's not something you can work with. So anyway, I spent a lot of money, I spent a lot of time, and then I needed to decide, where do I go from here? I said, okay, the finishing, I found some company in Germany which did finishing of badges. So the results were good. The surface was closed, so the pores were closed with their technique. The paint, the dye they used was good. So I thought, okay, there's an option. I can work with that. So how can I add value to what I'm doing? And then I decided to build a software platform. So how cool is this? I mean, you scan somebody, 3D scan of a face, you have it digitally, you have a special software where you can show the eyewear, you can change the colors, change the size, everything you need to be changed, configure it, make the perfect fitting eyewear, make a print file of it, and have it printed. And when it comes in, the customer has a unique eyewear, right? How cool is that? So I started to invest in software. That's when I met Klaas. Klaas is my buddy now. We spend a lot of time together building this. And when I start talking to Klaas, 3D specialist, IT programmer. You know, first as business to business. He made me a concept and I quite liked it. So we decided to go forward. He said, well, okay, you know, what you want is, you know, it's quite difficult. So we need different specialists, different IT specialists, and bring them in and build this. Okay, so I wrote my plan. I made a big diagram with, you know, retail and consumers and distributors and who makes the profit where and how does things work, what file is generated, where does it go, how can we automate it on a mass volume scale, and what should be programmed. So I spent a lot of time setting that up. We had a meeting, and class brought 4 specialists, very bright people, everybody having their own skills, you know, back-end specialist, a front-end specialist, a graphical designer, 3D designers, everything we needed. And we had a great meeting. And very bright guys, so I saw this is going to work. So we started working, building some platform. One thing I wanted is it needed to be cloud-based. Because the future is cloud, you know, the future is mobile. Installation of software will be something of the past soon. So we focused on that. It was a big challenge because you need a cloud server, you need cloud technology, and then 3D, and then, you know, it needs to work. So Klaas and his team spent a lot of time, I spent a lot of time, and we kind of figured it out, you know, but, you know, everybody needs to get paid. So I invested a lot of money and I ended up having almost no money. So what did we need to do? We need to find an investor, right? I talked to Klaas, I said, you know, this is, we're not seeing the end of this yet. And I need to figure something out. I don't want to go to a bank and loan money and things like that. So take high risks. I want to find a partner. Find a partner that has the same interest and wants to be in the 3D printing business, 3D printed eyewear business. That's when I met David Friefeld, aka the Pickle. So we hit it off. Very nice guy, and I remember there was an optical fair in Munich, and we chatted on LinkedIn, David and me, and he said, I'm going to Munich. I said, oh wow, can I meet you there? And can I show you my eyewear? And he said, well, you know, okay, let's do that. So, and the weekend before the fair was, I got a pneumonia, a really bad one. I mean, 40 degrees Celsius fever. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I'll look it up for you. I was so sick, and but I said to my wife, I have to go because, you know, I have to meet David. He's you know, he's a successful businessman. He's you know, a guru in eyewear space. You know, he's the Yoda of eyewear. He's from the US, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to meet him again, so I'll have to go. My wife said, okay, you're crazy, but if you have to go, you have to go. So I went, and I met him, and we had a great time. We walked the fair together, we talked, we had a nice dinner, and showed him my eyewear. He said, well, okay, it looks kind of cool, you know. It wasn't what it's supposed to be yet, but, you know, I showed him the advances in the software, and he was very impressed. He said, wow, your ideas are great, so yeah, maybe we should talk more. And we did. We talked, we chatted. I showed him all kinds of developments, And then he said, let's do this together. And I was so happy. I mean, this guy with a huge company called Clear Vision USA, you might know it. It's a very respectable company and very big in the US. And I thought, oh man, this guy can bring a lot of skills to the table, you know, and he has resources, so I was very happy. You know, we started talking more, and David is a real good guy, and he said, you know, let's have a meeting in Brussels. So we went to Brussels, and you know, the class, the team leader, I was talking and was becoming my friend. The IT guy, he went there too, and we talked, and we had a good meeting. And then David said, wow, you know, this is a great team, I'm in. So what's the next step? I said, well, you know, investment, you know, we need money, because if we want to scale this up higher, we really need an investment. And David, you know, being the cool guy he just wired the money for Klaas to work with and his team, and we started building the real thing. And then we organized, after some time, we organized the first optical fair with Clear Vision in New York Expo East, 2018, I think. Okay, whatever. And it was very successful. So David brought in all kinds of respectable people from the eyewear industry. Everybody was like, wow, this is great, you know, wow, let's, what's the next step? And we said, oh, we will have it ready soon. Yeah, right, not. So much development, and always you think we're almost there, but you're not. So we invested more money, we developed, and then David said, my brother Peter is also interested in this, and you know, he's a marketing guy. He's very good in sales. He's my partner in Clear Vision. What do you think of you know, him joining this project? I was excited. You know, I worked with Peter in New York. We had a blast. We hit it off. I mean, Peter is socially unique. He's great. So I was like, wow, this is getting even better, you know, having a great partner like that. We continued, we developed, we decided, you know, let's make Klaas a partner in the company we're going to set up, because it's very important for what we do. And Klaas was interested. So he said, yeah, I'll join the company, we'll make this work. So now we have a group of people, you know, David and Peter from the US, me from Holland, Klaas is also from Holland, and the system is looking very good at the moment. Okay, so let me tell you more about the technical details in the next blog. I hope I'm getting your attention. You know, this really is a startup. I'm in it for 3 years now. You cannot imagine everything I've done, every challenge I needed to face, and I think it's a very interesting story for a lot of people who want to build their business, or maybe who want to be in 3D printing, or maybe want to be in eyewear startups, or want to be our customer, you know, our partner. We see people as partners. So if you are interested, keep following my blog. I'll show you some secrets, you know, and this might be very interesting for you. Okay, signing off, and see you in the next blog.